So hello guys, good day. In today's video, I will be explaining the continuation of chapter 6, which is discharge under falling head, the new topic. So in this topic, as you can see, there is a container. It is in irregular shape, no? So the only thing that we can calculate the falling head of it is through the derivative. So let's take a strip. So strip kani is the RIP, and the area of the strip as well as the height as DH. No, nakaderive ang height. As you can remember, no, the actual discharge, it is a discharge equals to volume over time. Again, volume over time. So the volume is QT. So para mo-arrive ta aning DH, or we can use that derivation, we need to apply, i-derive natin yung volume. So dV equals to, so ang discharge naman tayo i-in, napunta i-out. So therefore it is Q in, Q sub in minus Q sub out times dt. No, derive, no? If atong kano, no, through time, so it is dV over Q sub in minus Q sub out. But take note that dV is AS DH. No? Volume sa, I mean derived volume sa strip, this one. So it is area times derived height. So therefore, ma-change na to ang kanino na equation. dt equals to AS DH over Q in minus Q out. Right? So i-derive na, I mean i-integrate so that mawala ang derivation na sign. So therefore, it will become T integral of with the upper limit h sub 2, h sub 1, and ES dH Q in, Q out. So the question is, sir, ano na may height? So this one is upper, ang mga limits na sila. So as you can see, h sub 2, h sub 1. So upper limit and lower limit. So when there is no flow, kung walay flow, of course, atong Qn is 0. Therefore, it will, if Qn equals to 0, so our T now is ES DH minus Q out. No? Interchanging the limits to change the sign of the integrand. So, kung ato ang i-interchange ang limits, ang upper limit may mong lower limit, ang lower limit may mong upper. Therefore, mabago na pod ang ato ang equation, no? It will become, ang upper limit will be h sub 1 and h sub 2 ng lower limit. So, it will, since get change na to, so Q out. So, therefore, this will be the formula in terms of time, no? Note that if A is variable, it must be expressed in terms of H. So this is the very useful one. No? Have you wondered na ngano ma-solve sa uban ang kadugayon, nagtulo mga agas tungod ani na formula? No, that is the science behind that calculation, no? Ngano kaha ma-solve na nila per time or based sa time. So this is the answer. For you to be able to know more or to understand more about the topic, so let's have an example. So the example states that 1.5 diameter, again phi is diameter, vertical cylindrical tank, 3 meters high, contains of 2.5 water. 100 mm diameter circular sharp edge orifice is located at the bottom, and we are assuming that the coefficient of discharge is 0.16, and we are asked first how long will it take to lower the water level to 1 meter deep after opening the orifice, and second, how long will it take to empty the tank. So sounds very hard, no? But I will teach you how to solve it. So the first things first, first things first. Napulol na tani. Is that we show illustration so that ma-realize nato na ang atong problem is real life situation and ma-solve nato siya. And again, forman siya, there is circular daw sa bottom and dari ang gausanan. So this one is 100 mm diameter, and ang ani siya, ang iyahang ang deep sa water is ang first informan siya no na 1.5 vertical and 3 meters ang high sa container. So this one is 3 meters and this one, the D is 1.5, and na-contain daw siya 2.5 ang container ka, contain of water 5 liter. So from this scenario, as you can see, simple lang, ang ana lang dating niya, pero lisod siya solvon, no? So the only thing again is to assume a strip. So if you wonder why, say reason with the calculus na nagikon siya. So this is the answer. So this is the strip. And again, yung height is DH. So A na to, darita A. Using the formula, no, this one. So T equals to integral of AS DH over Q out with upper limit H sub 1 and lower limit H sub 2. And remember that Q out is actual discharge. Diba? CA. So, ayun ito niya forget ang actual, theoretical. So, scan sa tanong for so, actual discharge na to, okay? Theoretical is walay C. So, this is the actual 2GH. And H na dako equals to H na gamay, right? So therefore CA square root of 2GH, and ato ni pagawas ang H. So mo carry lang siya to the power of 1/2. Again, to the power of 1/2 is square root. So same term lang sila. And put nga na to ang A as orifice, area sa orifice. So balik ta sa ato ang formula. H sub 1, H sub 2, AS, DH over Q out. Dili na Q out because na siya value. So the value would be C CA sub O square root of 2GH to the power of 1 half. H to the power of 1 half. So okay, so this one is the new one, no? So ato ang i-simplify so that it will be more easier for us to solve. Ipasaka na to ang H. So ES H the power of negative 1 half na kato manggisaka ang DH over C, again, coefficient of discharge times area of the orifice, square root of 2G. And we are capable of solving the this integral, no, equation, thinking that there are mga constants. So the constants are AS, CA, 2G. So interested lang on interested to integrate the kani so itong kanon ang orifice is 100 ba? Okay, orifice 100. And kaning ES is sa cylinder. Kani mismo. No? So therefore, pi times 1.5 squared over 4. All over, ang C is 6.60 times pi times 0.1 squared over 4. Because orifice man A sub O times square root of 2 times 9.81 and G. So ang derivation ani is NU. If you remember, no, NU to the power of N minus 1 DU. So direct lang mo siyang integral. So the integral is i-add ang 1 dili NU from that is to derive. So negative 1 half plus 1, so H to power of 1 half over obos niya is 1 half pod. Tapos dari is atong H sub 1 is 2.5 and ato ang H sub 2 which is gidictate man ganina tara naman dari 1 meter. So dari na siya H sub 2 is 1 meter, H sub 1 eh. So 1. So to solve, no, I mean kung ato i-calculate, it turns out na ang ani 84.661 times 2 times kani ngano na times 2 because ang 1 half is gipagawas na to, no, gikuan siya, gipasaka ang 2, so tara nadari. So therefore H to the power of 1 half na siya. So ang dating man ng ani basta na yung limits is 2.5 to the power of 1 half minus 1 to the power of 1 half. Ipang minus lang na ang upper limit, i-minus na lower limit, thinking na ay power. Okay, so the time now is 98.4 seconds. So many answer, no? So na ko i-introduce na another formula which is gamito na to sa B. Ang kanina formula is good for uniform cross-section because cylinder is uniform. Wala may na bago na shape. So, ang ani ni siya. Remember sa dari na part, kani, gisaka na to. So, kung ato siyang kwanon, walay value, so kani. 2as over CA o square root of 2g, right? And h sub 1 to the power of 1/2 minus h sub to the power of 1/2. No? Kung kaning 1/2 ato na ikwandaan dari, sa ani na ang formula. Again, this one is good for uniform ang cross-section. Sa mga example like cylinder, rectangular, mga na container. Pwede po din siya i-square root of h sub 1 minus h sub square root of h sub 2. So atong gamiton sa b. So kanino gamiton nato ni. So therefore it will become ang pangutan na how long will it take to empty the tank? So 1, di ba kani? Ang kanina value ato ng kapihon, same naman sila. 164 na 0.32. Dari mabag-o. So square root of 2.5 minus square root of 0. Okay, 0 naman ang h sub 1. No? So the time now is 267.72 seconds. So muna yung answer. No? First is how long will it take? Gikan sa 2.5 may mong 1 meter, so 98.4 seconds. Sa number 2, kanus or how long unsa kadugayon na ma-empty ang tank. So within 267.72 seconds ma-empty na ang tank with this dimension, no, and deep sa water. So that is the first example. And now, if you have questioned about what if, sir, it is in different shape. So I have already prepared that, no. So this one is kanang hemisphere or half hemisphere. Spherical, hemisphere is katunga. So that is the right term. No, hemisphere, so tunga sa spherical. So a tank is in the form of a hemisphere with a radius of 2 meters. So tunga siya sa kuwan. Therefore, sa tiwas, the tank is completely filled with water. The question is how long will it take to empty the tank if a 120 mm diameter orifice is located at the bottom and the coefficient of discharge is 0.62. So this is the solution. So this is this hemisphere. Again, hemisphere is katunga sa spherical. And the dimension na is circular. I mean ang shape. Sana. 2 meters man daw ang kuwan. So kung katunga siya, dari palandaan, kung atong imagine nun is that 2 meters. And kanin, radius, no? Mamay gyatan niya radius, so 2 meters pud ni. So kung ako na sayop, di ba? If ato siyang so ang shape niya is so mag-contact strip dari, assume again ES DH And since we assume sa strip kanipod ito ko na ni kung dari ko to ang ato ang height, no? Kaning 2 is h sub 1 kani edge atong kanong sa edge, so therefore it will be h mani, so 2 minus h. And again, radius is 2 meters. Di na sila lahi ko na kani is like siya lang ang version na mas masabtan kontra ani. Mura siya front elevation. And adoy kondare na 120. So ning agas. So it is 120 mm diameter ang orifice. So kung atong tan-awon lisod because of ang shape lahi na, the only thing na masolve na to ni is that we assume here the x, no? Paana ba kani from here to this here is x, because ES equals to pi x squared, no? This one. At any given point man, so EX na to siya. Kaya di man tayo, we are not certain with this asa nakalocate ang strip. So GX na to siya. Because ang area sa circle is pi r squared. So EX lang na to ni. So therefore the time here is, gamito na itong formula, no? ES DH over CAO square root of 2G. Ang H is na this one, no, is universal na formula, pwede sa na non-uniform cross-section and uniform cross-section. So pagawas na to ang constant. Since dito pwede magkuan mali, di natin pagawas ang A because X is unknown and di siya constant. So kanila tayo pagawas ES H negative to the power of H to the power of negative 1/2 DH. So solve sa nato ang X. Ano sa ang X? Diba, as you can see this, no, from this, no, this kani ana ika na ni nakwan na figure, this is X, this is 2 minus H, and this one is 2, diba, radius. Or para di mo malibog, balihon ako sana, diba anak man, thinking na diba kani ang kuan kilid sa hemisphere, thinking nato ni ilahos. So this one is lahos na to na siya. This one is 2 minus H man 2 dari X. So infinitesimal man na siya, di man jud na ingon siya na kung sa tong naked eye. So consider nato na siya lahos dari X, no? Kakon man na theory because we are not certain man sa kakon ng X. So nganion lang nato. So through Pythagorean theorem PT, So a squared equals to b squared plus c squared. So 2 is a, b is 2 minus h squared plus x squared. So 4 ni kani is 4 minus 4h plus h squared, di ba? Plus x squared. So kung makancel ni, kung ibalhin na to, so mahulog na x squared equals to 4h plus minus. Okay, ibalhin mo na to like this one is transfer na to sa other side sa equation. So therefore atong ES is pi times 4h minus h squared. So gikan na nino, iplihan na to value ang x. So ato siya i-input. Therefore it will be balik ta dari kani. So mahimo siyang t equals to, ang pi constant, so ES naraman siya dari, so ipagawasan na itong pi, and CAO square root of 2g integral h1 h2 4h minus h squared times h to the power of negative 1/2 dh. So input na itong values, no? That is at top point 62 ato ang coefficient of discharge. Area sa orifice is pi times 0.12, diba? Kay 120 mm man squared over 4 square root of 2 times 9.81 and dari pi. So ang h sub 1 is 2 man 0, ang h sub 2 kay empty man daw, i-empty man nato. So i-distribute ning kani to the kanina term or equation, no? So it will be 4h to the power of 1/2 minus h the power of 3 over 2. Ano 3 over 2 man? 1/2 plus 2, so negative 2 ni. Negative, so therefore negative 1/2 plus 4 over 2, so negative 3 over 2. Dito. Positive 3 over 2. So mali. And dh. So kung ato ning solve kanilang alone, so ang atong answer is 101.148, and i-integrate nato ni, it turns out na 1/2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. 4h to the power of 3 over 2 minus h to the power of 5 over 2 kay 3 over 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. 2 dari 0 and continue dari, no? So 101.148 so mahulog siya na 4 over 3 8 over 8 kaya dari 4 over 3 over 2 is 8 over 3 h to the power of 3 over 2 minus 2 over 5 h to the power of 5 over 2 0. So input na tong values. 8 over 2 times 2 to the power of 3 over 2 minus 2 over 5 times 2 to the power of 5 over 2 minus ang 0 na pod ibutang po dari, so in short 0 ra siya, no? So the answer is 5.34034 seconds, or sa minutes pa it is 8.9 minutes. So this is the time na ma-empty na to ang 2 meters na hemisphere, no? Ang radius sa hemisphere is 2. So that's it for discharging under falling head. Next topic would be Ventory Meter. So Ventory Meter, if you have no zero knowledge about the word, no, or the device, so accordingly sa book, Ventory meter is an instrument used in measuring the discharge through pipe. So, kung discharge through pipe sa Ventory meter, isa si Ventory meter na gamiton. It is consisted of a converging tube AB so mag-draw sa ko og illustration na pipe. So this one, when you draw pipe, ang opening niya is like this. Masya letter A, number 8, pero putol. Like opening na siya. And this one's end. So kung dari sa ubos, so sa upper na po nato ikuan ang opening. Opening na siya. So magkwanta turot, no? A and B. So ang A nato is this, ang B nato is kani. So Ventory meter, itong distance so kanet, no? So A and B daw, which is connected to the main pipe at the inlet at A and the ending of the cylindrical section BC called the trough. So B to C is trough, no? And the diverging section CD, which is connected again to the main pipe at the outlet D. Outlet A, outlet D, converging, inlet ni tulad sa tunga. So, if ato ang section 1 dari, so natay mga ang kani siya muna itong Ventory meter. This one, So cylindrical cross-section, no, itong Ventory Meter, again, this area kaning diverging to throat is the Ventory Meter. Part na ning uban. So kaning mga test lang na sila. This two is the main pipe. This one main pipes, no? And this one atubot nga og dash line be. Muni ang mga diversion section. So natay datum. Again, datum na to is dari. So this is section 1, this is section 2. So V sub 1 squared over 2G tapos P sub 1 over gamma kani. So dari ang fluid and kani ang elevation head Z sub 1. Dari pod if dari lang ko to na HGL no AGL na so this one is B sub 2 squared over 2G, P sub 2 over gamma, C sub 2, diba? So that is the Ventory. So through Bernoulli's energy equation or BEE, and take note na neglecting head loss, so E sub 1 equals to E sub 2, no, section 1, section 2. So V sub 1 squared over 2G plus P sub 1 over gamma plus Z sub 1 equals V sub 2 squared over 2G plus P sub 2 over gamma plus C sub 2. So ato siyang ipares-pares, no? Kauban si pressure with pressure head with the elevation head, the both sides. So P sub 1 over gamma plus Z sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma plus C sub 2 equals to V sub 2 squared over 2G minus V sub 1 over 2G. Or V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G equals to V sub 1 over gamma plus Z sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma plus Z sub 2. So ito mo na itong last I made equation form para magamit. Thinking that theoretical na discharge is AVT, no, which is A V sub 2 theoretical, and Q is C QT, diba? Coefficient of discharge or meter coefficient. So ang C Again and again, this will be called meter. Aside sa coefficient discharge siya, tawagan po siya meter coefficient. So do not forget this. No? See? So this is the formulas na magamit. Gamit kayo and false. So that para madungagan yung knowledge, no? So the only thing is presenting to you a problem involving sa Ventory Meter. So the question is, or the problem is, or an example that I am giving to you is a 150 mm diameter horizontal Ventory is installed in 450 mm diameter water main pipe. So again and again, magduha siya kakuan ba mga main pipe tapos sa ito nga is Ventory. Duha siya ka main pipe sa ito nga is Ventory meter. The deflection of mercury in the differential manometer connected from the inlet to the tube is 137. So we are asked to determine the discharge neglecting head loss. Compute the discharge if the head loss from the inlet to the throat is 300 mm of water, and what is the meter coefficient? So for 50 man ang horizontal daw ang main pipes. Main pipe. So given ni ang ang illustration. So I would like you to see yun sa ako pag-draw. Ano sa natong opening sa pipe. I-locate na to ang center. Tapos ang mga divergent sections. Ang throat. So therefore it will be like this. Dari tumod si section 1 dari, section 2 dari. Yan na siya manometer. So this is mercury. So 450 mm diameter, 450 mm diameter, and 150 ang throat, no? Diameter sa throat, 150 mm. Tapos ang deflection, manometer connected from the inlet to the throat is deflection sa mercury is 375 mm. So una na itong buhaton is that ito sa kwanon, no? This is the throat, this is the inlet. Dari inlet dari pa sa D. Sa A, determine the discharge detecting head loss. So solution. So theoretical, no, na discharge is A2V2, which is A2VT. And gamito na tong formula na nakuha na to kaning. Since wala may elevation head, kay neglect man daw, so Z1 equals Z2 is 0. So mahulog na V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G equals to P sub 1 minus P sub 2 all over gamma, right? So this is the first equation. No, so sum of pressure head. So we need to know the interface sa kwan. A po dari, B, okay, wala naman 1 to A to B, B to, so dari ato ning ikon dari as Y. So sum of pressure heads from 1 to 2 in meter, in terms of meter of H2O, in terms of water. So P sub 1 over gamma plus Y of 375 paubos man, so plus, no, Y plus 0.37 5, no, minus ning sakata negative na 0.375 minus again convert to water, so ato siyang i-times og sa mercury 13.6, no, minus Y kani pasaka, di ba, minus ang pasaka equals to P sub 2 over gamma, no, ang ana ang sa manometer. So doing the math here, bali na itong P sub 2, wala ng Y, mabilin is kani, pamalin na sa other side of the equation. So 0.375 times 13.6 minus 0.375, so ato ang P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma equals to 4.725 meter of H2O. So this is the equation number 2. No, equation number 2. And from continuity equation, so ang idea ng continuity equation that sa isa ka pipe o sa isa ka vessel or any body, bisag unsa pang shape sa na both sections, no, kay mo as one lang discharge, equivalent lang sa Q1 and Q2. So Q1 equals to Q2. So A1 V1 equals to A2 V2, V1 equals to A2 V2 over A1. Di ba? So, ang mga area ani is circular man. So, pi d squared over 4. So, kung ako ato na siyang input dari, mawala ra po din pi and 4. So, therefore, automatic siya na d sub 2 squared over d sub 1 squared v sub 2. v1. And namantaan na no, ato ang d sub 2 is, kung saman, katong si troth, 0.15 squared over 0.45, katong sa pi. Ang v2 is unknown. So v1, v1 therefore equals to 0.111 v sub 2, equation number 3. So, let's substitute equation 2 and 3 to equation 1. No? Equation 1, tara, equation 2, equation 3. Si 2 and 3 is sulod na to kay 1. So, therefore, it will become v squared, v sub 2 squared minus 0.111 v sub 2 squared over 2 times 9.81 equals to 4 point. Kaya ang ato ang p sub 1 minus p sub 2 over gamma is 4.725. Equation number 1. So, v sub 2 squared minus v sub 1, 1 v sub 2. Or mahulog siya 4.725 times 2 times 9.21. So, kani, ato na lang ni kanan b. Ang squared for 0.101 is 0.0123 v squared. So 1 minus kani, it will become 0.9877 v sub 2 squared and 4.725 times 2 times 9.81. So v squared, v sub 2 square root na, so 4.725 times 2 times 9.81 over 0.9877. So v sub 2 is 9.69 meter per second. Again, v sub 2 is the Vt. So our QT, diba, ang question is discharge impacting head loss. Therefore is area man, so area sa truth, no, 0.15 squared over 4 times 9.69. So our QT or discharge 0.1712 cubic meter per second. So this is the answer for A. Sa B, the question is compute the discharge if the head loss from inlet to the trough is 300 millimeters of H2O. So nabutang nakatag nag-head loss 300 millimeter or simply 0.3 meters. So walay elevation head pero day head loss. So v sub 1 squared over 2g plus p sub 1 over gamma plus c sub 1 equals to v sub 2 squared over 2g plus p sub 2 over gamma plus c sub 2 plus head loss gikan sa 1 to 2 or inlet to throat. So cancel ni kay walay elevation head. So P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma equals to V sub 2 minus V sub 1 squared over 2G plus head loss 1 to 2. And pwede po na nga ni V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G equals to P sub 2 minus P sub 1. Nabali naman kay in terms of mandari minus head loss 1 over 2. In terms of sa other side na gikan bang P sub 2 dari sa Pica's equation, sides equation. So this is ato ang gamiton. Namatay value sa V sub 1, so V sub 2 squared minus 0.11 V sub 2 squared over 2G minus 4.725 ano P sub 1 over P sub 2 minus kani head loss is 0.3 no. So V sub 2 squared minus 0.0123 V sub 2 squared equals to ano sa nato ani, so 4.425 times 2 times 9.21. So V sub 2 equals to square root of 4.425 times 2 times 9.21 over 0.9877. So atong V sub 2 is 9.375 meter per second, or simply V na siya. So atong actual discharge, kita pa, actual discharge is Q equals to A sub 2V, which is 5.15 squared over 4 times 9.375, or equals to 0.1657 cubic meter per second. So this is B. Atong C, ang pangutana naman niya is, what is the meter coefficient? So meter coefficient again is coefficient of discharge. So sayon ra kana naman tayo actual, kani actual man sa B, actual ang discharge, sa A is theoretical. So ato ra i-divide. So C equals to Q over QT, which is ang Q is 0.1657 cubic meter per second over 0.1712 cubic meter per second. So cancel ang units. So our meter coefficient is 0.968. So muna answer sa C. No? So another problem for Ventory. So this one, no? Karon vertical na pudtan. Vertical Ventory meter 100 mm in diameter is connected to a 300 mm diameter pipe. The vertical distance from the inlet to the throat being from the inlet to the throat, being 750 mm. If the deflection of mercury in the different manometer connected from the inlet to the throat is 360 mm, determine the flow of water through the meter if the meter coefficient is 0.68. Determine also the head loss from inlet to throat. So pinatindog na ato ang Ventory meter. So katong gyapon na technique. So opening sa taas ang aning sa ubos. Buhat ta og kuan. So nga na pag-draw. And as you can see, kani linya ani kung left mag-start sa kuan so 1, so down po ta dari ni section 1 tunga sa throat is the 2 and 150 daw ang throat, no, mm diameter man 300 sa main pipe. So dari is inlet, dari is throat. So buhatan na to sila og manometer. So dapat naka-open ni. As possible tunga, no, sa kuan. So manometer ang anak, no? So dari deflection again, nagkuhan siya deflection, nagkuhan pa siya sa throat, inlet to throat. So from here, deflection sa mercury as a manometer is 360 mm and throat to inlet to throat is 750 mm. So paano filled with water. So ang pangutana first is the flow of water. So discharge again. Medyo taas-taas ang solution for this. So solution A. So ang panatoni is theoretical discharge, but let's start with theoretical. This is actual. Second man, the flow of water through meter if the meter. Okay, so this is actual no discharge. So Q equals to CA 2V2 equals to CA 2VT. So Bernoulli's energy equation, neglecting head loss, so there is no elevation head. So, ito lang paano niya. V sub 1 squared over 2G plus P sub 1 gamma plus Z sub 1 equals to V sub 2 squared over 2G plus P sub 2 over gamma plus Z sub 2. Thinking no, there is no, since naghatag mag inlet to throat, so this would be the elevation head for the section 2. Since ang kani wala man sa 0, mahulog bang gunadari atong datum. So may tabo ani is naragya pa si elevation head sa section 2. So V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G equals to P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma plus C sub 2. Ang C sub 2 is kato 0.75 or 750 mm. So ato lang ko ano ni clarify pa. .75. So this is the equation 1. No? Equation 1 to, tapos sa mga pressure heads ta. So magbutang sa taga-interface no. AA dari A saka B, tapos kani Y, tapos B to 2. Okay, sa mga pressure heads. So kung wala naklaro kanina akong kanon, kani mo to ang equation number 1. V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G equals to P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma plus 0.75. Ang 0.75 is the elevation sa section 2 or Z sub 2, which is 750 mm or 0.75. So sa mga pressure heads from section 1 to 2 in M of H2O, so P sub 1 over gamma, as you can see, P sub 1 pressure, siya pressure ning ubos ta, add ning ubos pa jud ta kay same naman na sa laghay, wala pa siya kasulod sa kuan mercury Hg. So plus Y plus 0.36, tapos plus na po minus kay pasaka naman, pero thinking na siya sa SG 0.36 times 13.6 minus Y minus 0.75 equals to P sub 2 gamma. Tara, P sub 2. So cancel na to ang Y. So kung in terms of P minus P sub 2 over gamma, therefore it will become 0.36 times 13.6 minus 0.36 plus 0.75, right? So our P sub 1 minus P sub 2 gamma equals to 5.286 meter of H2O. This will be the equation number 2. So natin ito no, from continuity equation, wherein again, discharge sa section 1 equals discharge sa section 2. So palikta, V sub 1 equals to D sub 2 squared over D sub 1 squared. Hope na kanino wala nyo nalimtan. Like ano na nga nilang ni siya diameter. Again, because of pi D squared over 4. Kung i-over po na ako siya nga to na formula, so makansara ang pi and 4. So nabilin is mga diameter. So ako lang i-direct 0.15 squared over 0.3 squared 0.3, okay? Or 0.30 V sub 2. So ang V sub 1 therefore is 0.25 V sub 2. So this is the equation number 3. So let's substitute. C2 and 3 to 1. So V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 no kani 0.25 V sub 2 squared over 2 times 921 equals to P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma is 5.286. Equation number 1 na-shake 1. Di siya plus. Ibali naman din at namalikugtan upon kanina da. This would be negative, no? Namali na ako nag-transfer. So negative na siya 0.75. So V sub 2 squared minus 0.0625 squared V sub 2 squared equals to kani is 4.536 times 2 times 9.81. So V sub 2 diretso na nako 4.5362 times 9.81 over 1 minus 0.062 is 0.982 9875. So V sub 2 now is 9743 meter per second. This is a theoretical velocity. So therefore our Q or actual discharge is metric pa no, ang meter coefficient is 0.68 times pi 0.15 sa truth over 4 times 4 this is 9 point paano siya 9.743 or 9.74. The footprint niya 3, so it will be 0.1171 cubic meter per second. So this is the discharge na gipangita for first question. Next is B, or second question is determine also the head loss from inlet to trough. Inlet to trough, no. So it would be V sub 1 equals to Q over A 1, diba? Kay flow rate man Q equals to AV. Ikaw lang ni siya. So 0.1171 over pi times 0.3 squared. Ang 0.3 is the main pi over 4. Therefore it is 1.657 cubic meter, meter per second. Sa V sub 2 naman, Q over A2. So, 0.1171 pi times 0.15 squared over 4. So, 6.628 meter per second. Marami na lahi, no? Sa tongkan. So, V sub 1 squared over 2G plus P sub 1 over gamma plus C sub 1 equals to V sub 2 squared over 2G plus P sub 2 over gamma plus C sub 2 plus HL head loss. Naghatag mo siya head loss. Okay. Or head loss at tumitawon. Determine the head loss man. So, buti na ito head loss so that we can find it. So, P sub 1 minus P sub 2 over gamma equals to V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G plus C sub 2. Okay, wala naman si C sub 1 plus HL 1 to 2. Diba si P sub 1 minus P sub 2 is 5.28, no? 286 equals to values sa itong nakuha kani butang na ito dari. So 6.626, this is 6 squared minus 1.657 squared over 2 times 9.81 plus 0.75, diba? C sub 2 plus HL 1 to 2. Muna head loss. So HL 1 to 2 equals to, pang transfer na to sa other side ni kani sa mga negative. 5.286 kani is minus 2.098 minus 0.75. Therefore, ang head loss 1 to 2 or section 1 to 2 is 2.438 meter. So this is the answer for the second question. So that's it for meter, Ventory meter. So ako na lang po ni i-appeal ang nozzle, no, because this is too short. Too short lang siya for this video. So 3 topics ang na-involved for this 1 hour copy na video. So let's start. A nozzle, as in kung wala pa may idea, if na-heard na niyo sa akong mga previous videos, nozzle is, again, I think I have read this, but I am willing to reread, no? Again, nozzle is a converging tube installed at the end of the pipe or hose for purpose of increasing the velocity of the issuing jet. So, pakusgon lang niya ang velocity. So, this is this is how it is, no? If this is the hose, and opening the siya dari. Again, this symbol is opening. This one is base. Itawag niya siya base. This is the hose. And nozzle is kaning nagkuhan na forma o putol na triangle or ito ganin kaning four-sided no napan. So opening po doon siya dari. So this is the nozzle. Ang kani, this is the tip or jet. Muna yung showing jet, yan na, tubig man yung gipagawas or any liquid. So, kani ang velocity. This is the section 1. Dari po ang section 2. So mo contact formula, so discharge niya is actual man AV2, so CA2 VT. So ang A2 is area of the nozzle tip, right? So with the use of BEE, so neglecting yapon sa head loss, so V sub 1 squared over 2G plus P sub 1 gamma plus C sub 1 equals to V sub 2. V sub 2 squared over 2G plus P sub 1 over gamma plus C sub 2. Since wala may mga elevation head, so wala na. And opening man ni siya, so atong P sub 2 is 0 pod. So therefore, atong ma-accumulate na formula is V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G. So muna ang formula for nozzle. So that's nice. So hatag ko formula, I mean example para masaktan ni kaman. A 60 mm diameter fire hose discharges water through a nozzle having a jet diameter of 25 mm. If the gauge pressure at the base of the nozzle is 400 kilopascal, compute the discharge. Assume the meter coefficient 0.65. So solution. So if this is the nozzle, pwede i-freehand if makaya ninyo. So tarong lang siya, no? Contact center. So hose ni ingon siya 60 mm diameter, dari ang 1 section 1 and opening section 2, and ado siya 25 mm diameter, and aday P1 dari na 400 kilopascal. So Q equals to CA2 V2 or CA2 VT, and Q1 sa continuity equation, Q1 equals Q2, so V sub 1 equals D sub 2 squared over D sub 1 squared mean V2, or 25 squared over 60 squared V2. Pwede na to i-input din siya kay mawala rin po lang units ani. So no need to convert to meter, no? So atong V1 now is 0.174 V2. So this is the equation 2. Kaya ang equation 1 nato is the formula kani. So ato sa input P sub 1 gamma V2 squared minus V sub 1 squared over 2G. So this is equation 1. So gikan sa equation 1, 400 man ang kilopascal, I mean pressure, 9.81 equals 2 V sub 2 squared minus V sub 1 is 174 V sub 2 squared over 2 times 9.81. Cancel na to ang 9.81. Nga na makancel siya, bisag i-cross multiply, ma-divide yapon 1 ang answer na. V sub 2 squared minus 0.0330 V sub 2 squared. Kanino ang squared aning 0174 equals 2. So 2 times 400, 800. So V sub 2, diretso na nako, 800 over 1 minus 0.030 is 0.970. So ang V sub 2 now is 28.72 meter per second, no? And this is V sub T. So gikan diri sa Q equals to 0.65 man ang meter coefficient, area sa issuing jet 0.025, which is need na nato siya i-convert to meter ang millimeter times 28.72. So our Q now is 0.0092 cubic meter per second, or simply 99.2 liter per second. So this is the answer for example sa nozzle. No? So medyo matas-tas atong explanation today or for this video. So hope that you have learned from this video, and hoping na ma-absorb niyo akong ipang-istorya, and looking forward for you to master these topics for your betterment pohon sa import exam. So thank you for watching, and goodbye and God bless.